do you keep fighting?
Because I'm Spider-Man.
Welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another very interesting Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales related video. Now, while we're all still currently waiting for any major pieces of news to drop pertaining to Marvel's Spider-Man 2, there was actually a fairly intriguing update that did occur recently for Miles Morales and the huge amount of sales it has apparently accumulated. And even though Miles Morales is indeed a cross-generation title which can be played either on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 respectively, the majority of these sales figures for the game do in fact relate to the PlayStation 5 version of the title. And considering that the Miles Morales game is over 1 year old at this point, seeing it remain to sell consistently well at such a regular basis just makes me incredibly happy as a Spidey fan. Especially taking a character like Miles Morales into consideration, who is only slightly over a decade old within the comics medium, and having him directly compete head to head with another major gaming franchise like Call of Duty is just an amazing thing to see overall. And luckily, in order to put things into a better perspective, we do have a very in-depth article written by Game Rant which does break down the entirety of this situation and fully displays exactly how far Miles Morales has come within the eyes of the public gaming space. So to read from this article directly, it does state Spider-Man Miles Morales outsold Call of Duty Vanguard over the holidays on PlayStation 5. PlayStation reveals that Spider-Man Miles Morales outsold Call of Duty Vanguard on PS5 in December, speaking to declining interest in Vanguard. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales launched with the PS5 in 2020, giving fans a fun new adventure set after the events of the first game. A year later, and Spider-Man Miles Morales continued to dominate the PlayStation Store in December of 2021, surprisingly beating out the latest entry in the Call of Duty series, which usually sits at the top of all sales. Like practically every other industry, December is an important time where businesses look to recoup their losses or jump ahead on the next year. Between existing players looking to catch up on the year's titles and the influx of new gamers because of the holidays, PlayStation discounts hundreds of items during the month of December. Both Miles Morales and Vanguard were included in PlayStation's December holiday sale, which has been running since December 23rd and is set to end on January 19th, though they are no longer being discounted currently. In a new blog post, Sony revealed the top-selling games on the PlayStation Store for the month of December, and the results are intriguing. Miles Morales placed above Call of Duty Vanguard in the US and Canada on PS5 at 2 and 3 respectively, despite the former game being just under a year older than the latter. This is the only category where Miles Morales beat out Vanguard. However, it is important to note that PlayStation does not include any sales metrics on this chart, so it is unknown by just how many downloads Miles Morales beat Vanguard with. For a long time now, Miles Morales has been a certified sales winner for PlayStation. A graph from earlier in 2021 showed that Spider-Man Miles Morales had already outsold The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and many other titles despite having only been out for half a year at that time. Conversely, Vanguard has been performing well by this year's standards, but when compared to previous titles, it definitely is not at the same heights as it has been in the past. But the most important thing to indicate from this article is that there are a few major takeaways from this sales announcement by PlayStation. First, the enduring popularity of Insomniac Games' Spider-Man series is not to be underestimated, especially now that it's just a waiting game until more information is revealed about Marvel's Spider-Man 2. And second, while Call of Duty Vanguard is still selling copies in other markets, the fact that a year-old single-player game beat out a mega multiplayer title like Call of Duty says a lot about player interest, or at the very least in the US/Canada. And of course, it probably also helps that Spider-Man No Way Home, arguably the biggest Spider-Man movie ever made, released in December too. So overall, everybody, the Spider-Man hype train is still going full speed ahead, especially now that Spider-Man No Way Home is finally out in theaters for everyone to go and see, and knowing that we're all incredibly hyped to see exactly what happens next within Insomniac's franchise with Marvel's Spider-Man 2. And because of that massive increase of interest for Spider-Man, it only makes sense that the majority of the player base would want to buy the most recent installment of the Spider-Man gaming series, on the most recent edition of the PlayStation system, of course being the PlayStation 5. That is, of course, for those who are ever fortunate to luckily own the console for yourself. The only downside about this recent report is that I do wish we were able to find out exactly how well the Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition sold in comparison to the standard version, considering the fact that's also bundled with the remastered version of the base Marvel Spider-Man game. Nonetheless, the amount of sales records that Miles Morales continues to break is nothing short of spectacular, and seeing the amount of praise it continuously receives just makes me personally as a fan beyond thrilled. And with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about this financial update pertaining to Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and are you still enjoying the game even over a year later? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales and general Marvel Spider-Man videos like these in the future. And without further ado, peace out.